Russell Brand, comedian, actor, YouTube rebel, has just been hit with charges that could end it all. Rape, indecent assault, oral rape, and sexual assault. 4 women, 6 years of alleged crimes, and a courtroom clash looming in May 2025. From a working-class kid to a global icon, how did it come to this? Is Brand a predator finally caught, or a target of a grand conspiracy? Before we dive into today's chilling tale, take a moment to comment below where you're watching from, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification button so you never miss another gripping unknown crime story. Russell Edward Brand was born at Orsett Hospital in Grays, Essex, England. An only child, he was raised primarily by his mother, Barbara Elizabeth, née Nichols, after his parents separated when he was just 6 months old. His father, Ronald Henry Brand, a photographer, remained largely absent from his upbringing. Russell's childhood was marked by hardship. At age 8, his mother was diagnosed with uterine cancer, followed by breast cancer a year later. While she underwent treatment, Russell was sent to live with relatives. By the time he was 14, he had developed bulimia. At 16, after clashing with his mother's partner, Russell left home, soon turning to drugs like cannabis, amphetamines, LSD, and ecstasy. His relationship with his father remained distant. Russell has described their time together as sporadic and unconventional, including a trip to Thailand that exposed him to adult experiences far beyond his years. Russell made his stage debut at 15 in a school production of Bugsy Malone and began working as a film extra soon after. He attended Gray's School and in 1991 was accepted into the Italia Conti Academy, with his first year funded by Essex County Council. However, by the end of his first year, Russell was expelled for drug use and poor attendance. Now let's hit the rewind button to where the trouble starts. 1999. Brand's 24, fresh-faced, hungry, and still under the radar. He's hustling in Bournemouth's gritty comedy scene. Cheap motels, late-night pubs. One night, a woman alleges he raped her. The specifics remain sealed, but sources say it happened in a flat he was crashing at after a local gig. Bournemouth, a sleepy seaside town, never saw it coming. Fast forward to 2001. Brand's on TV now, hosting edgy late-night slots on Channel 4. A second woman accuses him of indecent assault. It's described as non-consensual groping at a house party in London. Friends allegedly told reporters she left shaken and quiet, but back then, complaints rarely got traction, especially against rising stars. By 2004, the stakes are higher. Brands everywhere, TV, radio, tabloids. That's when a third woman comes forward. The alleged attack? In Westminster, in his apartment. This time it's oral rape. Court records state she reported he used intimidation and power, locking the door, raising his voice, then apologizing and crying after. Classic predator behavior, some experts say, abuse followed by emotional manipulation. Then in 2005, the fourth woman. Another sexual assault allegation, again in Westminster. Pattern? Same area. Same type of alleged incident. Different victim. What's chilling is how little these women knew about each other, but how their stories eerily line up. September 16, 2023. The date Russell Brand's public life fractures. Channel 4's Dispatches airs a 90-minute exposé that feels like a true crime doc, not celebrity gossip. Behind it? Months of work from a joint investigation between the Sunday Times and the Times. Their team, over a dozen journalists, had spent a year chasing leads, speaking to women who had remained silent for decades. Sources say Dispatches tracked victims through private networks, trauma support groups, even anonymous Reddit threads. Producers reportedly used encrypted messaging apps to avoid leaks. This was journalism with the security of a covert op. What they uncovered wasn't just testimony. It was corroboration. Emails sent right after the incidents, therapist notes, even one victim's clinic visit records. Brand's lawyers were contacted before the doc aired. They denied all claims but didn't pursue legal action to block the release. The doc also included interviews with former colleagues, production assistants who said Brand's behavior was an open secret. One even claims he was warned to stay away from interns during his BBC years. The Met Police saw the doc, and they acted fast. Brand's response? Slick, sharp, and perfectly timed. Just hours after charges were announced, he uploads a 5-minute monologue to X, filmed in a warmly lit study. He speaks clearly, slowly. These are very serious allegations, but I categorically deny them. He says he's a target, not because of who he was, but who he's become. And here's where it takes a wild turn. His followers erupt. Online forums flood with posts claiming he's the victim of a political takedown. Hashtags like #StandWithRussell and #WitchHunt trend within hours. Conspiracy influencers, from right-wing podcast hosts to anti-establishment TikTokers, claim this is punishment for Brand's truth-telling. One theory? The allegations resurfaced because he criticized Big Pharma and the war in Ukraine. Another? MI6 is involved. Seriously, his fans think the British government is trying to shut him up. But here's the counterpoint. Even some of his old fans, especially women, are torn. They say the evidence in dispatches was damning. They remember Brand bragging about these exploits in his old comedy routines. "I used to be a sex addict," he'd laugh. "I didn't ask for permission." What if the jokes weren't exaggeration, but confessions? Here's what's next. May 2, 2025, Brand is due at Westminster Magistrates Court. If he shows, the judge decides whether the case moves to trial. If convicted, UK law says life imprisonment is on the table for oral rape. Even with good behavior, he'd face a minimum of 7 years. But there's another twist. He's currently in the US, living in a quiet ranch outside Austin. If he refuses to return, the UK could trigger an extradition request under the US-UK extradition treaty. That process could drag for years, especially if Brand fights it in court. Meanwhile, there's a civil lawsuit brewing in the US. A woman from the UK is suing him for emotional distress and damages over the same 2004 incident. Her lawyers argue that Brand's presence in the US gives them jurisdiction. This is more than a criminal case. It's a full-blown legal siege on 2 continents. So what do you believe? Is this the fall of a dangerous man, or the silencing of a disruptive voice? Drop your take in the comments. We're featuring the top 5 in the next episode. And hey, if you want to see the full breakdown of the Dispatches documentary, subscribe now. We've got leaked interviews, legal expert analysis, and yes, we're diving into that US lawsuit. You don't want to miss this. This case is explosive, but the truth? That's up to the courts and maybe you. Let's talk about it. Do you believe Russell Brand is guilty, or being targeted because of his political views? Should celebrities with dark pasts still be allowed redemption, or does accountability come first? If you were on the jury, what evidence would you need to convict or acquit? And hey, if you're into deep dives like this, hit that like button so more people can find this video. Subscribe for weekly true crime breakdowns, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you never miss what's next. Because trust me, this story, it's just getting started.